After the burning of Prospero, the Space Wolves had a long and arduous journey back to Terra. First, they battled the Alpha Legion in the Alexis Nebula, and then on Yarant, and then a number of other battles, including this battle, the Battle for Carnean 4. The Space Wolves were halfway back to Terra when, on the ruined world of Carnean 4, a combined force of World Eaters and Sons of Horus fell upon them, but it perhaps wasn't the best decision they ever made, because the traitors were without their Primarchs. However, the Space Wolves did have their Primarch. Leman Russ will be fighting in this 5,000 point Horus Heresy battle report, and we're playing Onslaught. The Onslaught mission is quite simple. After deployment, the traitors will put an objective in the Space Wolf zone, and the Space Wolves will put their objective in the traitor zone. We don't know who's deploying on what side yet. And if either army takes their objective, then they win. But if neither of them take their objective, or both of them take their objectives, then it comes down to secondaries, who killed more, and whether the Warlord is dead or not. I like the Onslaught mission type. On the surface, it seems very simple. Take the objective, win the game. Defend your own objective as well, and win the game. But it turns out to be really tactical. Every single game I've played turns out to be really tactical, and it also represents the bigger battle. While this is 5,000 points in the eye of the storm going on here, obviously while these 3 legions are going to war, outside this battle grid, there's a lot more things happening. There's thousands of more legionaries and supporting units left, right, and all over the place. But in the eye of the storm, if either side of the traitor or loyalist line's broken, it's a nice mission. Talking about nice things, all this gorgeous scenery in front of you, including the statue and this lovely modular terrain that you can put together in any way you want to, is all from March of War. .co.uk. The battle mat is from urbanmats.com. Very nice. Other nice things are all my channel members. You're very nice people. Thank you for supporting me, and all my subscribers as well. I appreciate you guys. Let's go and have a look at the traitors. This is 5,000 points worth of traitors. Now, because we're doing 5,000 points, what we're doing is dual force org, not force org with allies, because it's really hard to fit in that for 5,000 points. So dual force org here, and leading the charge is the Sons of Horus, led by this Praetor here, Balaxi Crom. Crom is a Cataphracti Praetor with a chain axe and a Magni Combi thing, and he's got 10 Justair and Terminators in a retinue keeping it safe, so all of these guys score. And the retinue have 3 hammers, 2 multi-melters, because you can take them in Justair. Everyone else has got power axes, and they are beef. And Crom himself is chosen by the Dark God, so I can choose in any one of my turns. I can roll a dice, and on a 2 or 5, he'll get an extra strength and toughness, which is nice because it'll make him immune to strength 8 instant death stuff, chosen by the Dark Gods. But if you roll a 1, he loses a wound. If I roll a 6, not only does he get a strength and toughness, but he gets a wound back as well. So the ability to lose wounds, regain wounds, make him tougher. He has been chosen by the Dark Gods. It also gives me 2 particular reactions in the movement phase. And Sons of Horus in the first round of combat, it's -1 strength to hurt them. So Crom is going to be leading 10 Justair and Terminators. He's followed along with a Chaplain, and there's going to be 10 Cataphracti Terminators with this Chaplain inside a Spartan with all the Las and the Melter. And the Cataphracti, there's 2 fists, 2 claws. 3 fists, 3 claws, 3 chain fists in there, and a power sword. And then we have an Ancient joining us with all the Melter, and 2 units of Tactical Marines. Now, joining the Sons of Horus are the World Eaters. They're fellow warriors. They get on just, but they can't join each other. They essentially fight as 2 separate forces. And the World Eaters, so the Sons of Horus, -1 strength in the first round of combat. The World Eaters, well, they get an extra attack on the charge. It's all about getting in there. Oh, I forgot to mention the Rite of War for the Sons of Horus. This is the Long March Rite of War, which means all the Terminators either have to start in reserve or in a transport, but they gain outflank. As a bonus, I get +1 to movement. And then the World Eaters are taking the Crimson Path. So the first wound that comes through to them at any point is just ignored. They're more resilient. Well, They're going to die anyway, but they take the blows in order to get closer to the enemy and land that one final hit before they fall over. And the Rampager squads, of which there are 2 back here, do gain line, so they score. There is a Praetor for the World Eaters. This is Orgat, but he's a ravening madman, so he's definitely not in charge of the Force. Balexi Crom is in charge of the Force instead. As a ravening madman, he can join the Red Butchers, who are also ravening madmen. These are like boxers that take a hit in order to land a blow. Basically, you can always hit them on 3s, even if your weapon skill is absolutely terrible. But when you hit them, -1 strength to hit these guys. It also gives in an extra attack. So that's a base 5 attacks, 7 attacks with a pair of lightning claws, and then 9 attacks on the charge, being World Eaters. Absolutely crazy. Red Butchers are fearless. They've got hatred, so they're going to be re-rolling all their hits all the time anyway. And then there is a second in command. I put a chaplain in a unit of 15 rampagers, which are inside that Spartan there, which is my only heavy choice because the Crimson Path only allows for 1 heavy choice. All the rampagers have got Phalanx blades, which are rending 4 up, and they are absolutely brutal. I've got 13 more rampagers descending from the skies. Why 13 winters? Well, points. They've all got Phalanx blades as well. And then 3 units of despoilers, all with the banners of shame, i.e. Vexillers, which will prevent them running. And you'll notice all the despoilers have chain axes instead of chain swords, because you can do that in a World Eaters force for free. The Spartan, las cannons, multi-melters, all the dreadnoughts in the backfield, multi-melters and melters in the fists. I thought about dual fist combos, but as you look across this army, there isn't that much anti-tank except for the Spartans. So I needed a bit more anti-tank. So typically the World Eaters are ran with 2 claws, but this time all the melters in their fists. And this lovely World Eaters force was gloriously painted by marchofwar.co.uk and belongs to Alex SEO, who said I could kindly borrow it. So thank you very much, Alex. And all these glorious things over here were painted by my sponsor, Den of Imagination Painting Studios, painted up all the Sons of Horus. Thank you very much, Den. And joining me today is Sam. Say hi, Sam.
Hi, Sam.
The Space Wolves have not come alone.
No.
You've brought some stuff with you.
Brought a few Custodes.
A few Custodes with you.
Just a few.
Because the Custodes and the sisters, they help them out on Prospero, right?
Yeah.
So you've got a couple of Custodes left.
A couple left, coming back from Prospero. The rest are broken off back to Terra.
How many am I facing?
9 Custodes and a Grav Carrier, so it's not too bad.
That seems okay. Let's have a look. And this is just below 5,000 points of the Venriki Felka with an allied Custodians detachment. The Space Wolves, they can advance and charge. That's the things they do. Yep. And the Custodes, they have something called Nemesis. So basically, if you attack a unit with a weapon, anything of 5 in their stats, like a toughness 5, weapon skill 5, monsters, vehicles, things like that, they get an extra attack. They get extra attacks if they attack the chonky things. Little tactical marines, not so much, but they go through them like a hot Custodes through butter. Anyway, do you want to talk us through what you've got here?
Yeah, well, we'll start with the Primarch.
Yes.
So we have got Russ here today again. And he gives me +1 strength on for everything that charges. And like last game, he is a beat stick in combat.
Nice.
This is technically Gygor, but he's beyond.
Beyond the half-handed.
Yeah, beyond the fell-handed. He's with Russ, and he's going to be sticking with him because he's not allowed to go anywhere
Okay.
else other than that. So that's another HQ. Then we've got 2 Speakers of the Dead. One's with the Retinue of Deathsworn. So Speakers of the Dead are the 5 up Feel No Pain.
Yep.
And they're Chaplains, so Hatred Everything.
A Chaplain and Apothecary rolled into one. So that unit has a 5 up Feel No Pain with the Chaplain abilities, Hatred, and Leadership 10, Stubborn.
Yeah. They're a lot of points, but they're worth it because they're a Centurion upgrade.
Yeah, and this guy with some... What are these guys called? Varangir Terminators.
Varangir, yeah. So Varangir, weapon skill 5... Because anything that can't run, so on Deathsworn, Breaches, Cataphracti, if you can't run or you're a Dreadnought, you get +1 weapon skill on the charge.
Up to weapon skill 6.
Correct, yeah.
So you got a Speaker of the Dead with 5 Varangir, which are going to be jumping in a Land Raider.
Yeah.
Russ with Bjorn and some more Varangir, which will be jumping in a Spartan in the backfield. And then these guys are what now?
Deathsworn.
Deathsworn.
And they're going to be going in the another Land Raider. They've got Rad Grenades and Power Axes. So they're going to Initiative 1. They've all got Artificer armor and 2 wounds.
Do they?
Yeah.
That's a unit of Artificer armor, 2 wounds with the 5-up, feel no pain and hatred.
And they fight on death, but only 1 attack.
They're going to be nasty.
They are, yeah, but they're only weapon skill 4 base. So
okay.
If they don't charge, they're not the best. But this is why you take the hatred with them.
Okay. So elite. So I like it.
Yeah, and then we've got a lot of troops.
Okay.
So I'm trying this out today. We've got 20 breaches with all the Volkite.
Yep.
There's going to have an apothecary with them, so they get 5-up, feel no pain on objective 4-up.
I like it.
And they will get +1 weapon skill on the charge, so they actually might be decent in combat.
Yes.
If they can get the charge off, that is.
Yes.
Because they're not the fastest because they're heavy.
Yeah, they just walk. They can't run.
But importantly, they're scoring as well, so having line in Heresy is very important.
Yes.
Then we've got a 15-man Greyslayer pack.
Yep.
Everything just equipped basic. The only thing we have got is a Nuncio Vox.
Okay.
So that can redirect my artillery.
Yep.
Then we've got 2 Greyslayer packs. These are pretty expensive. They're like 200 plus points. But they get Relentless, so they can shoot all their weapons. So bolters and 2 melter guns and steel charge.
2 melter guns each.
2 melter guns in each squad.
Okay.
And they've all got chainsaws and bolt guns.
Okay.
And they're scoring, but again, only weapon skill 4. And they're going to be inside the 2 rhinos.
Okay.
We've got 1 Dreadnought today. It's a Leviathan. He's got Volkite, and he's got Volkite and then Melters in the Fist.
Yep.
Double Claw. And then we've got 2 Rapier Destroyers, carriages, and these guys have got Splinter Shells.
Okay.
So they're only strength 2, but the idea behind this is just to cause some pinning. So rending on 6 pluses and causes pinning, so it's good at like focusing on your troops and just getting them bogged down, basically.
Yeah. Strength 2, but rending 6+, shell shock 1, pinning.
Large blast.
So large blast. So basically 6s to wound as it comes in, but any 6s to wound, ignore armor, and auto wound and pin with a -1 thingy bob. And you got a Nuncio Vox, so you can redirect fire if you need
as long as the Nuncio Vox can see. But I've already got one of those. Yeah.
Flare shield on the Spartan.
Flare shield on the Spartan.
Obviously, and a flare shield on the grav carrier in the backfield. 13, 12, 10, or it might be 11 on the rear, but 14 on the front with the flare shield. It's got Arachnus Blaze cannon on it. 2 shots, twin link, strength 8, AP1. It's only strength 8, AP1, but it's got Lance, which is nice. I like these things. And transport capacity of 18, and because Custodes are bulky 3, you can put 6 in there.
Yes.
So 6 Custodian Guard Squad. They're all line troops. They've all got melter bombs. They're all stubborn. They're Custodes. They're all initiative 5. Crazy.
Yep.
A unit of 3 with sentinel blades and shields.
Yeah, and then just a shield captain with Meridian swords.
Meridian swords.
I think I've put 1 more Custodian down extra because it should only be a 5-man squad. So
is it?
We'll get rid of 1.
Okay.
Sorry.
So is the shield captain joining the guys in the
shield captain's meant to be in here, yeah.
Okay. So this squad is just going to be running forward on foot. They've got a 5-up invulnerable save. The ones in the carrier, 6-up invulnerable save.
Yeah.
Which also has outflank, deep strike, all those nasty things. There's a lot of stuff that you can do with Custodes. And actually running Custodes in Heresy it can be a bit oppressive sometimes if you bring a large Custodes force and you're not prepared for it.
I've been on the wrong end of that. So
we've all been on the wrong end of it. Yeah. So bringing a log 9 is, well, it's nice, but it's also narrative because there are some Custodes joining the route on their way back, on their long march all the way back to Terra. I have to let you know, I'm terrified of Russ. He's a Primarch.
PTSD from when he beat up Horus, yeah? He
didn't beat up Horus. I think you'll recall that Horus teleported back to the battle barge, the Invincible Reason, the Gloriana class flagship, before that battle was over.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen the last 5,000 point battle report that I did, check it out. It's on Winter's SEO YouTube channel. That one was good. This one, though, well, I'm terrified. Let's go on to deployment. And we're deployed for this 5,000 point game of Onslaught. And at the moment, the Space Wolves have the initiative and will be going first unless the traitors can seize. Of course they have the initiative. They have a Primarch with them. And I've got an outflanking objective marker here for the Just Terran. And the Rampagers are in Deep Strike Reserve. And then I left my Red Butchers off the table. They're going to become running on because I didn't know where the marker... This is my objective marker. That's what I need to take. Because I didn't know where the Space Wolves are going to put their objective marker that they want to take. And it's all the way down here. And I figure leaving the Red Butchers off in reserve means at least they could try and come on. I mean, they're on foot. I don't have a transport. I only have one heavy slot in the Crimson Path Rite of War, so leaving them in reserve to try and defend this, along with 10 Cataphracti Terminators, lots and lots of troops and a Dreadnought. My army is clearly divided into, over on this side, that's the Rampages with the Chaplain in and a couple of Dreadnoughts, and I put the Dreadnoughts on this side because Custodes are on this side, and Custodes don't like Dreadnoughts. It's about the only thing they don't like. But facing them inside that Land Raider as well is
Varangir Terminators.
Is 5 Varangir Terminators with a Feel No Pain and a Chaplain, essentially. And a Leviathan Dreadnought and all the Volkite. There's a lot of hate down here as well.
Yeah.
In the middle, what have we got?
We've got Rapier batteries here.
Yes.
We've got just a Grey Slayers pack.
Yes.
We've got the Death Swarm with another Speaker of the Dead.
Okay.
We've got Russ, Varangir, Bjorn.
Yes.
Grey Slayers, more Custodes, and then some Grey Stalkers. Or no, the Grey Slayers and these are Grey Stalkers.
So these are your scoring options up this side.
Correct.
And the Custodes and these that want to try and get that objective there.
Yeah.
But you've also got the Wolf King to break the lines.
I do.
Now, normally I wouldn't seize the initiative. I wouldn't roll a 6 because I'm loyalist most of the time and it's bad.
Yeah.
But today I'm a baddie. So we steal things.
You can try.
On 6s. And at the look, I'm speechless. I'm speechless. It's a 6. It's the traitor. Turn 1. So it turns out the traitors heard the howl and saw the loyalists coming. I love the fact that Perturabo, by the way, said, don't call them loyalists because what does that make us? Yes. I like that. And that makes us mighty because we're right, because the Emperor must die. So loads of running everywhere. I haven't moved these guys yet, so I'm going to move them after I put the camera down. Actually, no, they can stay there for a while. The only things that didn't run is Spartan over this side and Spartan over this side. Everything running forward, trying to spread her out to either cover this objective or put pressure on the objective on the left. And the idea is the Spartans are going to fire at that Land Raider there. That Land Raider's full of Death Swarm and you're shrouding or evading. These hit on 3s. There's a bit of twin linkered and I managed to get 4 hits through. I'm going to need 5s to glance at though because it is a Land Raider. But I do have Sunder. And so it's a glance and 2 pens. There's loads of cover between me and you.
So cover on the glance.
Yes.
And cover
can you make
on the
it?
Pens.
And then shrouding on the pens.
Make them both.
Wow. The shots just disappear into the smoke. Okay, that was good.
It was, yeah.
This one's going to split fire because it always works. The side sponsoon is going to go into the Land Raider. And let's start at the Custodes thing.
Yep.
A big, nasty Custodes thing. So 2 side shots into Land Raider on 3s. They both hit. Again, looking for 5s with Sunder, which gives me the re-roll. And those are 2 penetrating hits. And you need 2 6-up saves.
Hey.
Cover doesn't help you. The shots slam home. And on 6s, in the first turn, I'll detonate a Land Raider. It was too much to ask for. But it is immobilized and shaken. And down to 3 hull points remaining. And some of these buildings are enclosed, like here and here, but some of these buildings do have windows through, which is going to shoot through into that thing. And twin linked on the las cannons. And then with a flare shield, it's like a Land Raider. So I'm looking for 5s to glance, 6s to pen, and there's a pen, and that's another 6-up save.
No.
And this one you fail as well. And I could detonate a vehicle in turn 1, looking for those 6s. And as a 1, I just shake it. The Kronos Grav Carrier is down to 4 wounds remaining. It's not reinforced, so it will be snap firing. That Land Raider is immobilized. That is the end of Traitors turn 1. We're on to the routes turn 1. Sam, remind people what happened in the very first turn of your movement phase, last game with the Space Wolves.
Spartan got immobilised.
And what are you trying to do now?
Not get immobilised.
Okay.
I've already got a Land Raider immobilised.
Spartan with Russ, don't roll a 1. Lightning can't strike twice, right? OMG! So a glorious start for the Traitors, clearly mining up the backfield here. to stop the rout pushing forward, and Spartan and Land Raider are mobilised and permanently in that position for the remainder of the game. Lightning did strike twice.
I wish I bought Tech Marine. I'm going to bring it next time.
Yeah, so we've got the Russ out and your Varangir already putting pressure down this line, and Custodes run a very long way. So they're right up here. And I have to think of things to do against that next. So I have no idea. Troops in there. Lots of troops here with your Nuncio Vox that can see, because there's going to be some firepower coming around this way from the quad rapiers, and then down in the other half of the battle grid, no immobilization results, but lots of shifting. The breachers moving along this way. You pivoted the grav carrier around. It shouldn't have taken the cover saves. It's got anti-grav, but it didn't make any. And the Custodes are out already, because potentially in turn 2 I could outflank from here. You were lining up and measuring to see if you could block off the entire outflank, which is a thing you can do, but in turn 1 didn't have enough movement to block off the entire outflank. The way it works is, if you do manage to block it all off and I bring my stuff, roll to bring it on, if they can't go on, they go back into reserve and back into reserve and back into reserve. So zoning out an outflank is definitely a tactic, and then you have to either kill or shoot everything that's zoning out the outflank.
Because you seized, I couldn't do it.
Because of siege, you couldn't do it. It's like you lined up for it perfectly, but... yeah, there's some more Varangir in there, which you didn't get out because it moved more than 6.
Yeah.
And they didn't really want to be out on their own facing that. You want
massively.
quite a bit of pressure facing what's coming you this way as we move on to the shooting phase. So we'll start here with Land Raider firing at World Eater Dreadnought.
Snap firing with, it's one shot from the...
Two shots on the side.
Twin linked, so they both miss.
Yes.
Twin linked snap firing. Misses, and then the 2 shooting normally, both hit.
Yeah.
And 2
2 to wound.
1 wound.
1 wound, 1 5-up automatic shielding save, which I make. Then we did the rest of the shots off camera because we thought it wouldn't wound the Dreadnought, and I was right. The melters from the Leviathan out of range, so I had to fire its Volkite in, which I had a 2-up save against, and a 2-up save against the Calivers that could get in range, and of course the Grav carrier was snap firing, so lots of firepower raining into this Dreadnought over here. Most of it short range, so most of it falling short, and the Dreadnought is uninjured. So now we come down to this side of the battle grid, where this Spartan is firing all of its guns into the flare shielded Spartan over here, but the 2 on that side have to hit the Dreadnought. Here's the triple las cannons though, which are twin linked. Everything hits.
6s.
6s because of flare shield with a reroll because of sunder, and that is 2 glancing hits. I need 2 6s. I fail them both. This Spartan is down to 4 wounds remaining, and then 2 las cannons streak out and slam into the Dreadnought. Both of them hit. Both of them wound. And the Dreadnought makes both of the saves.
Multi-melter.
Hits.
3
wounds. And I make that save as well.
Making 5 saves. Nice.
Now we're on to the immobilised Land Raider, firing down into this Spartan over here, which I'd really not like to get immobilised, so this one is going to evade these shots.
Okay, so non-twin linked and twin linked.
That's 3 hits in total. 5's glance, 6's pen with a sunder, and that's a glance and a pen. A 6-up cover save on the glance and the pen, and then a 5-up shrouding save on the glance and the pen. So only 1 glancing hit gets through. It's down to 5 hull points remaining. There was some incidental firepower at range, which didn't wound the traitors either. Now, the last thing left to fire, because line of sight and range is a thing, is the rapiers, and it's firing up and over. And coming down to these Sons of Horus over here.
Nuncio Vox.
Yeah, nice. So the target can't see, but the Nuncio Vox can. Anyway, that's a hit. And the second round is a hit, and that's 8 dudes hit. Now you need 6s, but they pin. And nothing happens. The splinter shells detonate in amongst the Sons of Horus lines, and they duck and cover. And that is the end of Loyalists, Zone 1.
And the charger.
What? There's a charge?
Russ is going for the charge.
Russ is going for the charge?
Yeah.
This is an incredibly long charge. He's trying to charge those guys down here.
Yep.
Well, they're World Eaters. We'll try and... we're not going to do anything. We're not going to react. This is a long charge with cover.
You react and you fail. You run back. So
I do run back. So let's do that. I hold.
Let's make a big charge.
That's a 7 with cover. That's a 5.
Not going to do it.
That will be a failed charge. So at the end of turn 1, there's a couple of immobilized tanks in the backfield for the Russ. We're going to surge this unit forward in a minute, and all the firepower erupted out, and it's just put a couple of hull points on a couple of Spartans. Right, at the start of turn 2, I've got some reserve rolls coming in, potentially. The Red Butchers will come in on a 2, and they're in. And the Rampagers will come in on a 2, deep striking in, and they're in. And outflanking Justair and Terminators, everybody's in. Okay, here we are partway into the movement phase. Round this side of the battle grid, Sons of Horus tactical squads standing firm, because Fury of the Legion is the thing for extra shots. The first thing I moved, in fact, was the unit of despoilers right up here, right into Leman Russ's grill. They had to run, they want to charge. It's not that I'm move blocking, it's just that they didn't have enough momentum to make their charge.
Yep.
So that's where they are all along here. The Dreadnought intends to charge the Custodes, and you kept a lot of your stuff inside transport. So over here I've kept my Cataphracti inside this transport. Not because there's a Primarch there, but because there's a Primarch there. These guys moving around this side to try and make a long bong charge into a scoring unit here, because you want some of these scoring things from the Rhinos and the Foot to come all the way down here and steal this objective. And if I kill all the scoring things over here, you can't take it. The Red Butchers have come on this way. They're heavy, they can't run. So I've got a lot of stuff to try and defend this objective, and I'm going to push on to try and kill the Dreadnought. Now, something bad happened to me. Tell the people what happened.
Outflanking assault. You rolled a 1 just like I'm good at rolling ones.
I rolled a 1. There is my 1. So my outflanking assault was disordered. The Custodes did some shenanigans. So you move my outflanking marker all the way down here.
Yep.
So the Justaeran obviously wanted to outflank up here, but there's Varangir, there's Custodes, there's a lot of stuff, and they've decided. It's not that you move the token. They decided to come on here instead.
Run away.
Well, I've kept my Rampagers inside there with the Chaplain. This Dreadnought is below. As I said, there's holes in this particular bit of scenery. And you did react against the Dreadnought with the Despoilers, and you put them back over there.
Yep.
So I've got 2 Dreadnoughts up in your grill. The Rampagers here, and now I have a unit of Rampagers that want a deep strike in as well. And I think I'm going to keep pouring the pressure on this side. So let's put it there, because this scatter is going to hit. This is not going to be disordered.
Troops, and I'm going to put it anywhere else.
That's a 4-inch scatter. I think I hit the Leviathan. Yeah, that's a mishap. So Sam is going to put it 18 inches away. Instead it lands down there. But you can do some stringy things in Deep Strike. So even though they were blown off course, I put down a 13-man squad. This is one of the reasons for being in a big squad. They end up here anyway. You take a pinning test at the end of the movement phase. They're not pinned. So the deep strikers are somewhat out of position. My outflankers are somewhat out of position, but I'm pinning the Space Wolves back. Now we go on to the shooting phase. We're going to start off this Dreadnought firing everything at your Dreadnought.
Yep.
You returning fire or anything, or?
I've only got 1.
Yeah.
I think it's probably the best place for it. So.
Well, you've got las cannons hitting vehicles and things like that is going to happen in a minute as well. Look at this one. This one's juicy. Decisions. So you are going to return fire. You're not going to shroud this or shroud anything else?
It's just, I'm unlikely to, and this is in melter range.
It is.
And it's on 5. When it pens, it's going to blow up anyway.
Yeah.
So I think I'm best here. And then if you blow this up, you can't charge what gets out. So.
Yeah, you can.
Can you?
Yeah, if you blow the vehicle, you can charge the contents of the vehicle specifically.
Okay, I will leave it.
You'll leave it?
I'll leave it.
You're not returning fire. I'm going to hit you on 2s. I'm going to wound you on 4s. And I do 2 wounds on your Leviathan Dreadnought and take 2 wounds off of it. It's down to 5 wounds remaining. Now I'm going to come on to this Dreadnought, which is firing at your Land Raider.
Okay, I will shroud.
You're shrouding this one. Everything is in Armor Bane range. I'm hitting on 2s, and good job I'm hitting on 2s. Right, Armor Bane. Strength 8 plus 2d6. The first one doesn't pen. The second one doesn't pen. And the third one just glances it, of which you get a 5-up shrouding save, which you make. Okay, this Spartan is firing everything at it. It should be dead. What's going on? Las cannons for the win, which are twin linked, and 5's glance, 6's pen with the sunder. That one's a glance. This is pen. We have 2 pens and 1 glance, and you have 6-up cover saves.
Cover against a glance.
Negative.
Cover against the pens.
Negative. So that's 3 hull points, but what do the penetrating hits do? It stuns it and shakes it. That's 3 hull points in total, and it can't move next turn, and you are in the multi-melter range, which hits and doesn't do anything. It's not armor bane. So the Land Raider can shoot normally, but it can't move. It should have been cracked. Never mind. The Rampagers do have pistols, but we're not firing... I mean, you've already returned fire. Okay, let's fire some pistols in at the breaches. Not return fire, sorry. You've already shrouded. So 3's to hit. 4's to wound breaches. That is 4 wounds. 4 3-up saves.
And feel no pain.
There's an apothecary in there. And 1 feels the pain and falls over. Let's move down to this side of the battle grid, where there's a lot of stuff that's going to be shooting at Custodes. Starting off with the Dreadnought. The Dreadnought wants to charge the Custodes, so he's going to fire in at them on 2's. He's going to wound on 2's, and that's 2 saves of 5+ invulnerable on Custodes. And that's 1 dead Custode. Nice. Now the Spartan's going to split fire. My Spartan.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to put 1 gun down the centre line into Custodes, and the other 4 guns are going into Russ's unit.
Okay.
Okay, so 2 guns into Custodes on 3's, which are twin linked, and wound on 2's. That is 1 wound for 1 5-up and run.
Okay.
Doesn't do anything. He holds his shield high. Maybe that's why he took the hits from the Dreadnought, because he was shielding the hits from the anti-tank. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 shots coming into Russ's, hitting on 3's with the twin linked, wounding Russ's unit on 2's. And that is 4 las cannon wounds into the Varangir Terminators. Do you want to start tanking them on the Wolf King?
Well, one's a melter, right? And it's a melter with his armor, he gets a 3-up in run.
Okay.
So I'll definitely do that.
Yes.
And then it's going to insta-kill, right?
It will insta-kill the Varangir if you fail any saves.
So let's do a 4-up on the Varangir.
They're okay.
Let's do another 4-up on the Varangir.
That's really cocked.
Kills 1.
One gets cut in half.
We'll do the last one on Russ. And he takes wounds.
So one of the Varangir cut in half. Russ down to 5 wounds remaining, but Primarch's Habit will not die and can heal. And then I've got a lot of Fury, the Legion bolter shots going to fire in at them. We'll do all of this off camera, because you have 2-up saves against this. So I fired in. Didn't kill the plasma guys on my sergeants, but did force 14 wounds on Leman Russ's squad. How you doing this?
So these are on Terminators first.
Yes.
2-ups.
Okay. 1 takes a wound.
We'll just roll some more.
Okay. He's still alive.
Kills a Terminator.
So there's 3 Varangir remaining, along with the Russ and Gregor Fellhand.
Bjorn
Fellhand.
Bjorn
Fellhand. That is the end of my shooting phase. I don't think you have any morale to take.
Nope.
So now we're going to charge. This Dreadnought wants to charge the Custodes.
They can't react.
They can react. They can brace if they want to.
They shall brace.
That's leadership test or fall back. They're falling back 2d6 inches.
Okay.
They saw the Dreadnought coming. They turn around. They move back 6 inches. The Dreadnought surges. With the -2, we're going 3 inches. And it looks like this, which is better for you, to be fair. I mean, you have to regroup them, but there's 6 turns in this game. So in turn 2, you can regroup, then start pushing down. Better for you. I think you would have hurt the Dreadnought a lot, but it should have killed them.
And they weren't scared. This was just tactical.
Tactical stuff. Right. Over here, do spoilers want to charge through? I can see that unit, because you can only charge units that you can see in Heresy, and it's going to be a 10-inch charge into cover. Are you reacting to this one?
No.
Because you've got 2 reactions, right? Because of Russ?
Because of Russ, yeah. 2
Okay.
assault phase.
So this is going to be a 10 for my despoilers. And that's the Snake Eyes. They'll search forward 1. What was that?
Just saying, we're both getting like each ends of the dice. Double 6s, double 1s. 1s immobilised, 1s for outflank.
Dude, one of the reasons why I like Heresy so much is the extremes. In 40k, they've cut away some of the extremes. They give you command point re-rolls, they give you all the things.
Yeah.
But in Heresy, things can go horribly wrong, like having 2 vehicles immobilized.
Yeah.
But things can go horribly right as well. You can send 1 Marine into a squad, and he does the only wound and sweeps the whole squad. I love the extremes. It's very Heresy. Okay, so we're going to charge this Dreadnought into this Land Raider. I make that charge. That's a 9.
Yep.
We're going to charge this Dreadnought into your
Leviathan.
You can Overwatch. You've got 2 reactions in the moon, or you're going to wait. You're going to wait here.
Yeah.
I've got cover to get through, but 9 will make it, so he'll come slamming in there. And then the Rampagers, you're definitely not Overwatching, right?
Overwatch, definitely.
But that's 40 shots. Why would you do that?
Because it's 40 shots with Volkite.
That's a good answer. Nice. Actually, I killed one, so that's 38 shots with the Volkite charge. 3s to hit. Oh, mama. And at strength 5, these wound on 3s. Now, the Crimson Path thing, what I do is one of those successful wounds, anytime an infantry guy takes a wound, you chuck it away, and that's a lot of saves. Right, the only artificer I paid for in my entire army was on the 2 units of Rampagers and the, because they're elites, and the Sons of Horus down here. All the other guys don't have artificer armor, so let's start tanking it. Yes, hello.
Your artificer armor?
I do know, 1 minute. Yep, we found him. He is in line of sight and range. So he... well, I'm going to keep going on him. He deserves to die now. See, this is the extremes. He could have died straight away, but he has 2 wounds. He's still alive. He's only taken a wound so far. He's still alive. Get behind me, brothers. We'll be fine. Flying in from the sky. Okay.
Oh, God.
He's still alive. This is good, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I take 1 wound.
Yeah, you take 1, and there's the 1. Because the flag rate.
The flag rate. I just made 13 out of 14 saves. I love the extremes of Heresy. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it never happens.
Yep.
Let's see how far we charge. +3 to this because of jump packs. We are going 6, 7, 8, 9 inches. Not everyone will be in. At the end of the charge phase and piling in, it looks like this. I managed to get 10 into combat with this unit of breaches. Now they have 2 attacks each.
Yep.
+1 for their loadout, 3 attacks. +1 for the charge and +1 for being world beaters. This is 50 attacks. And at a higher weapon skill, I hit on 3s. Then at strength 6 with Furious Charge, we wound on 2s, but 4s rend.
3 up saves?
3 up saves on this lot. And there's an Apothecary in there as well, right?
Yep, so that was a save. So 3, 5 up Feel No Pains.
Yes,
So,
and there's another one there. So that's 3 so far.
And then they have got Breacher Shields, so it is a 5 up.
Yes. Oh dear.
And then another Apothecary set of saves.
Apothecary. So I killed 10, but at the same time they fight back. Unfortunately, they're hitting on 5s because, well, I'm better than you. Forced to wound.
Oh, no.
I've already ignored a wound in this phase, so that is 3 more wounds. I'm not going to tank him on the guy because it doesn't make sense now. And I'm good. And then there's an Apothecary with his chainsword, and he hits once. And reroll for shred. Really cocked. And he's going toe to toe with my Artificer dude.
Yeah.
So he's got a 2 up. And there's a 2 up. At the end of that, you lost it by a lot. So you need to make snake eyes on your leadership, which you fail. And then it's an initiative roll off, and you've rolled a 2.
Uh-oh.
And I roll a 1. And the unit successfully falls back 2d6 inches, and they are danger close to the board edge.
So I obviously had to take my casualties because we all fight at the same time.
Yes.
Right.
But basically, if you roll high, that entire unit runs off the battle grid. Don't roll high.
I
7?
think I'm off.
If 1 touches the edge.
The Apothecary himself falls off the table, and they are overrun.
So the Rampagers consolidate round after sweeping that unit of breaches off the battle grid. Now we're going to come over here to Dreadnought number 1, punching your Land Raider. 3 attacks, plus World Eaters, plus charge. I'm hitting that Land Raider on 2s. And he's strength 9 on the fist, so 5's glance, 6's or pen, and it's still got 2 hull points remaining, and I do 1 penetrating hit. No save, a 6 will blow it up.
Yeah.
Is the Land Raider going to stand firm, or is it going to crack open? It's going to stand firm.
Down to 1
It's
hull
just
point.
shaking. It's on 1 hull point remaining. And now we're going to do a Dreadnought off. My Dreadnought versus your Dreadnought. But your Dreadnought's slightly tougher than my Dreadnought.
Slightly, but you got a lot of attacks.
So I'm hitting your Dreadnought. Your Dreadnought doesn't get bonuses because it didn't charge,
Correct,
right?
Yeah, so only weapon skill 5.
Okay, so 4's to hit you. And strength 9 versus toughness 8.
3s.
3's to wound. And I do wound every single time. And at brutal 3, that is 9 saves.
Yeah, 3 dice, please.
Yes, you can. 3 dice. 9. 5 plus invulnerable saves.
It's dead.
The Leviathan gets taken out.
But can it take out a Dreadnought in return?
At the same time, are we trading Dreadnoughts? It hits back on 4s and hits once.
Oh,
and
it
doesn't even wound. No.
Oh, no. It blows up, though.
Yes, it does.
How far?
6
There's
inches.
some rampages.
Well, it's going to hit my Dreadnought and wound my Dreadnought 2-up save, and my Dreadnought takes the wound. But yeah, that's quite a lot of rampages you're going to hit in that explosion. 7 rampages are hit, and 6 of them are wounded. Aeroplane outside, and 1 of them dies in the explosion.
We've killed a Rampager.
You killed a Rampager. And all of a sudden, there's 2 World Eaters Dreadnoughts, a big squad of Rampagers pushing down towards this objective that I want to take, and standing against them with a unit of Varangir with a Speaker of the Dead.
Correct.
And a unit of Custodes. And the rest of the force is a long way away. However, there are some... Who are the guys in black in that thing?
Deathsworn.
Deathsworn could make their way over here, but they can't run. They're heavy.
Correct.
So it might take them a turn or 2 to get there. Anyway, we've got some more fights. Have we got some more fights down
That's
here?
all the fights.
I think I failed all the charges down here.
You did.
I failed all the charges and things down here. I know someone who isn't going to fail a charge in Space Wars Turn 2, and that's Leman Russ. The battle for Canaan 4 is heating up. Down in this corner, Balaxi Crom and his Justeran, well, they're pushing on through. They have orders to break the lines and take this objective down here, but they're out of position. And now the Varangir are outside of their Land Raider, and they've got some targets, some Dreadnoughts to charge at. The Deathsworn are out of their Land Raider, and they've got some targets to charge at, along with the Custodes, who are outside of their transport as well. And a howl erupts across the battlefield, because you've got the Bloody Claw Warlord thing,
Yeah.
Right of War, which means what now?
Everything gets Fleet 2 and Furious Charge 1.
Fleet 2, so +2 on the charge. This unit are outside of their Rhino as well, but of course a Rhino isn't an assault vehicle, so they can't charge after they got out of it. The Custodes regrouped, and when they regrouped, my Dreadnought took a couple of steps back. Russ... Well, I imagine Russ wants to charge the spoilers anyway, but everything here.
Yeah.
And then the unit that were in the ruin with the Nuncio box, the Grey Slayers,
They've just run out.
they just ran.
Yeah.
So they haven't. They're not charging this
No,
turn.
Space Wolves, they can run and charge.
Oh yeah, they can run and charge.
And the Bloody Claw, because I've called it, everything that can charge must charge.
Okay.
So if anything's within 12, it must declare a charge.
So they must charge.
Yeah.
The Custodes and the unit next to them aren't charging. Russ and the Varangir are charging.
That's one just within 12 so they can charge. Because you had an issue here. If you reacted backwards from
Yes.
the Custodes, you basically just give me a charge into the with the Death Swan.
Yeah, I was thinking about going backwards to
so-
get away from the Custodes, but I think the Custodes are going to catch them anyway, and if I went backwards, I'd be sandwiched.
Yeah, and it lets them catch up easier.
Yeah, and if I was sandwiched between the Deathsworn and Custodes, I think the Rampagers would all be dead. This way, they're probably all dead to that unit of Custodes anyway, because that's about 500 points versus about 500. Yeah, they're probably dead anyway, but this way, maybe a couple of them might be able to land a blow on a Custode, because Custodes have a higher initiative, and they will swing first. You've still got a unit of troops inside that Rhino there. Did you want to move the Rhino, or was it staying
The
back
Rhino's
for now?
moved slightly, but he's lying up. I need to get some scoring down there late game, so they're quite happy in the Rhino at the moment.
So Russ is telling them to hold for now.
And if I went over that, I'd probably get immobilised, even with
Probably.
2 dice. So I'll just wait there.
So we're starting off the shooting phase with the Rapiers firing splinter shells one more time. 4 shots landed on these units of Sons of Horus. You need 6s. No. And 3 of them landed into the spoilers here. And nothing happens again, just splinter shards exploding amongst the ruins. Now we're moving here, and I realise why you got them out of the Rhino, because there's 2 melters in melter range of this Spartan.
Can
the Spartan is gonna not shroud. I'm gonna take it. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Hitting on 3s.
You hit both of the time. It won't be fine.
First one, glances.
Second one,
6, 8 flare shield doesn't do anything.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, you need a 7.
And that glances.
So just 1 glancing hit. I'm fine. Everything's fine. Nothing to see here.
And now we'll go with the Spartan into the Land Raider as well. And this will go into the Dreadnought, and this will go into the Dreadnought.
Okay, so shots into the Dreadnought from the Spartan and shots into Spartan on Spartan action. How many shots hit in the Spartan?
3 shots.
Everything hits.
6s.
With Sunder. There's lots of intervening stuff. Do I make a 6? I don't make a 6. It's down to 2 hull points remaining, and then the shots into the Dreadnought.
Multi-melter.
Twin linked. Hits. Wounds on a 3. Wounds.
And las cannons.
Both of them hit.
2s.
One of them wounds.
2 wounds in total.
2 5-up automatic shielding saves, and it's down to 4 wounds. Next to the Spartan, we're on to this Land Raider. This is the shot that I want to shroud down into my Spartan, because you've got side shots on it.
I do.
And I don't want it wrecked down here. I want that mobility. One of the guns can't shoot, though, because immobilized.
Twin linked las cannon.
Yes.
Twin linked.
That hits.
And both miss.
Just 1 las cannon slams in.
5 to glance. Thing. 1
And that's a penetrating hit. Lots of cover in the way, which doesn't help me. I popped smoke, I evaded. That doesn't help me.
Can I roll a 6?
You can roll a 6. That Land Raider detonates. How far does it blow up? It blows up 3 inches. Hits 3 of my guys, injures all of them, and wipes out one of the spoilers stood next to it, which they'll have to take a pinning test. And now they're pinned. And there's 16 rampages inside the Spartan, which get hit on 2s. Lots of 3-up saves. I'm not tanking artificer armor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rampages die in the explosion. That could be game changing. They take a pinning test, but there's a chaplain with them, and they're not pinned. And they disembark from their blown up Spartan here again. A game of extremes. That's what can happen in Heresy, and I love it. At least they're not pinned. This unit behind are pinned. Now we're on to the Grav transport, firing down into my Rampager squad. Firing the last bolt cannon, hitting on 2s. He is Custodes. Oh, 2 misses. Wounds on 2s. And last one, it shreds, yeah. Okay, so that's 2 wounds. And at the same time, you've got 2 shots with the Arachnus Blaze cannon. Both of them hit, and these wound on 2s. Both of them wound. Right, I'll ignore one of them, because it instant deaths me. And then this is a 6-up stuff in the way. You kill 1. And these are the last from bolt cannons. And you kill 1. Are you shooting him with your Custodes?
No.
No? Over here, you're shooting with a Land Raider. The way side sponsoons work is you divide the middle of the tank.
Yep.
And it can hit everything on that side of the tank. So basically, all the shots here can technically hit the Dreadnought. So you've changed your mind.
Yeah.
How many are shooting at the Dreadnought? How many are shooting at the Justair down here?
They're all shooting at the Justair.
You're shooting at everything at the Justair.
I trust in the Varangir.
Okay, all right then.
So non-twin linked.
Yes.
And twin linked.
Okay.
2 hits. 2 wounds.
2 4+ invulnerable saves on my out of position Justair. And they make the saves.
Very nice.
That's the end of the Loyalist shooting phase. Pretty good this time. Smashing open that spot, and it does put the Rampages out of position for maybe a turn or 2. Now we're on to the charge phase. Where would you like to start?
I'll start over here. I'm going to try and clear up this Dreadnought.
Okay.
So the Varangir into this Dreadnought.
The Dreadnought will overwatch you. And hits twice. And wounds twice.
4 up in ones.
And doesn't kill any. Don't roll snake eyes on the charge because you're in terrain.
So I go 4.
That's a 2-inch charge.
I have fleet 2.
That's a 4-inch charge. You make the charge with the howl. After the Varangir charged in there, we went on to the Custodes. They couldn't fail. They get there. Now these guys have to declare a charge if they can because of the howl, and this is a 12-inch charge, but you do get +2 to this to get the Rampages in a sandwich.
Need a 10. And that's definitely not a 10.
Not a 10. So Varangir into Dreadnought, Custodes into Rampages over here. I've done all my reactions. Where is the Wolf King going?
Wolf King is going to both.
Both the Despoilers and the Dreadnought.
He is within 5 of both.
Yes.
The unit is.
Yes.
So it would be 7, but it's +2, so it goes back to a 5.
Okay.
I really need to make this, and if I don't, I'll CP reroll it.
See, the thing is, in Heresy, if you fail the secondary, you can still hit the primary.
So primary is obviously the spoilers.
Yes, okay. So 5 to make both the Dreadnought and the thing, and that is a 7, you make the charge. Here's Russ and the Varangir, charging the traitors here, and now the Grey Slayers. Some of them are in cover. How far will they go? Oh, they're going a long way. Right, what's your howl thing called?
The Bloody Claw.
So it turns out you have to charge if you can charge. Yeah. And we can't find any rules that say rapier carriers can't charge.
The only thing we think of is because they shot there, so they can't...
Yes, so they can't declare a charge against them because they shot somewhere else, so they don't have to charge.
Because we nearly thought they had to charge then.
Yeah. So we're now onto the fight phase.
Yep.
I mean, where do you want to start? Custodes or the Varangir? We'll start over here. I think we'll finish it with Russ, right? He's the cherry on the cake.
The only wounds he can do to a Dreadnought this time, yeah?
Well, last time he did like 20,000.
Yeah.
So we're starting Varangir, Chooser of the Slain versus Dreadnought. Here is the Chooser of the Slain.
On 3s because he's weapon skill 6 now.
Yes. And you've got the Hatred, so you re-roll everything. And you get +1 strength on the charge because of Russ. Yep. So you're winning on 4s. And he wounds once. And the Dreadnought makes the save. And then the Dreadnought fights back before you get to fight me.
But I'm weapon skill 6.
So I'm hitting you on 5s. I don't know what that one is.
Twice.
I hit twice. Nice. Wound on 2s. I wound once. 3 brutal saves on one of the Varangir.
Easy.
Ooh, nearly made it.
Kills one.
I take one down. And they've all got hammers and...
2 specialist weapons.
2 specialist weapons. So how many attacks do they have normally?
I think they got 2 attacks base.
Yeah. 3 for the loadout, 4 for the charge.
Correct.
So 17 attacks with these hammers, hitting on 3s. That is nasty.
All the rerolls.
With all the rerolls, because the chaplain makes it nastier. Not chaplain, Speaker of the Dead. That's a lot of hits.
Strength is
9.
4, but I have +1 strength on the charge because of Russ.
Yes.
So I'm strength 5.
Yes.
So strength 10, strength 11 because of Furious.
Yeah, the way it works is, I think 40k, I comment in the comment section below, but in 40k you add the strength, then double. Yeah. In the Heresy you double, then add.
Yeah.
But you're up to, you're winning on 2s.
Yeah,
you're winning on 2s anyway. And that's all brutal too.
Yes.
So I'll do these twice because he's got 6 wounds. And he's definitely dead. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually,
he's got a wound left.
He's got a wound left. Let's do some more. Right, now he's dead. Then he blows up 4 inches. That is going to hit your Land Raider.
Yeah.
And doesn't do anything to it. And it hits 5 guys in the squad and wounds 4 of them.
So we'll just put these 4 on Terminators and you kill a Terminator.
So the Varangir Terminators run through that Dreadnought with ease, consolidate back a little bit, looking over their shoulder at their next Contemptor Dreadnought, while the Custodes fight the Rampagers.
A quick rules question.
Hello, yes?
Can you consolidate back into transports?
You can react into transports. Not sure about consolidation.
Okay.
That's a good question. If you could comment in the comment section below, like to see it. But it does say it's a move. You can move up to initiative. So if you've moved in range of the hatch of the Land Raider, you can jump in the Land Raider if you want to.
So they're going to jump back in?
Yeah. I know you can definitely do it in the reaction step because they fact that.
Yeah.
But I can't see any reason why you can't.
No, but they could definitely react back, so yeah.
Yeah.
I think they can do it.
Right. Custodes, all initiative 5. Have they all got the Guardian Spears?
Yeah, and the Shield Captain has Meridian Swords.
Brilliant. So let's fight. Right, Custodes all have 4 attacks. +1 of the charge, 5. And then +1 for Nemesis, 6. Each of them have got 6 attacks at initiative 5. So I can challenge. So I am challenging to stop all of those attacks coming through.
Yeah.
So we'll do the challenge attacks.
Hitting on 4s.
Yes.
And 2s.
2s to wound. Okay, so you kill that guy in the challenge many times over. Then 24 more attacks with 4. Just 4. Speechless. Love Custodes. I have a whole army of them, but I don't run them very often because this is what happens. 2s to wound. Brutal. Each of these 1 damage. Each of these AP2. That just killed 6 rampages. There's 4 left, and then your shield captain has a pair of Meridian swords. And he's hitting on 3.
It's called Hands Cut the Cloud. It's his stance, so Major Strike 4+.
Okay, because you pick a stance with the swords. You can get extra attacks or instant death or all 1 strength 10 AP 1 attack.
So these are 4s?
Well, these are 2s to wound, but 4s cause instant death.
So you can take that on a guy and then it kills him.
Yes.
Another one.
Yes. And then I forgot to do the wound thing. So this all happens at the same time.
Yeah.
So the instant death wound I'm going to ignore.
Yeah.
That kills 1 more. Drops 1 down to 1 wound remaining. And I can fight back. All right. So let's see what we can do. We're hitting you on force.
Yes.
I hit 3 times. That's okay. I rend on 4s. Strength 5 versus toughness 5. 4's rend. That's a wound. I do a wound to you. 6 up invulnerable save. I scratch 1. I scratch a Custodes, and then I pass Snake Eyes and we're locked up. I don't pass Snake Eyes and then we're locked up. And then we have an initiative roll off and you beat me no matter what. And sweep the entire squad of rampages. And of course they don't consolidate 1 step backwards. They keep pushing forward. They are the chosen of the Emperor, and all of a sudden this corner of the battle grid, which was looking overrun, is looking quite fine. So now we're going to go up and over here. We're going to finish with Bjorn in a minute, but we'll do all the Grey Slayers versus Despoilers, and I believe all this combat happens at the same time.
It doesn't.
It's all initiative 4. So we're going to start with my Despoilers first. We're both hitting each other on 4s. And I landed only 7 out of my 21 blows. Chain axes wound on 3s, but they are shred. So 5 3-up saves. I take down 1. Then you have 2 attacks each with your loadout, plus 1 on the charge.
Yep.
There's 46 attacks coming back.
Hit on 4s.
Which hit on 4s, and you rolled over there. Brilliant.
Sorry.
And that was bad as well. That was under half as well. Fenrisian axes though, on the charge, 2s to wound.
Yeah, with the +1. So that many. 80
Okay.
dash.
Ignore 1 of them. And these are all 3-up saves. No artificer armor in my World Eater squads apart from the Rampages. I mean, these guys, they don't really care about their armor. So you lost 1 guy. I lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys. 5. So my leadership is now 3. And I fail. So we have initiative roll off. 3 plus 4 is 7. I win, so you don't overrun me. I failed my leadership, but you don't sweep in advance. There is a Vexilla in that squad, and I fall back 6 inches. Grey Slayers consolidate, continuing to put pressure on the traitor lines. And now we're coming to the Primarch of the Space Wolves. So the Varangir are putting all of their attacks into the spoilers. Russ is putting all of his attacks into the Dreadnought. He's sitting on 3s.
Mastercrafted.
Okay, he hits 7 times. Strength?
9.
Toughness 7.
2s.
Okay.
So they are normal saves. These are murderous strike saves, and they're brutal 2 each.
Brutal 2 each. Brilliant. So these are 5+ invulnerable saves. The Dreadnought's on 1 wound remaining. And
4 more of those.
4 more of these. Okay. The Dreadnought's definitely dead, and these are D3 a time, which is many, many, many wounds on the Dreadnought,
Yep.
which detonates at this initiative and blows up 6 inches and is going to kill a couple of people. So at initiative high, 2 of the Space Wolves get hit by the explosion.
2-up saves. They're fine.
10 despoilers get hit in the explosion before they even get a chance to fight, and every single one of them gets shrouded in shrapnel, and they need 3-up saves, and 3 of them die in the explosion. Then down here, Gregor Fellhand / Bjorn, the Veil-Handed. He gets to fight at initiative 5. Hitting on 3s with this Mastercrafted Claw, extra attacks for Reaping Blow, and he hits 4 times. And his Claw strength 5.
But +1 now, so
Strength 6.
2s.
2s to wound.
Shred.
Okay, he wipes out 4 on his own. That leaves 3 despoilers fighting back again. That one's really cocked. and none of them hit. And then all the Varangir lay into the last 3 despoilers. And just like that, Leman Russ has broken through the traitor lines, and yeah, he gets it. Will not die. On a 5-up, he gets his wound back. That's a 5. So facing him down here, I've got 20 tactical marines and some red butchers, and it's the end of turn 2, and all your charges were successful. This charge was successful. The charge on the left flank drove that unit black. That was successful. They're going to need to take a leadership test at the start of my turn. I'll do it now. And they will regroup. But because we've regrouped after being charged, we're not doing anything. We're just standing. I've got 20 Terminators down here to try and block you. I don't think that's enough. That's a Primarch. 10 Red Butchers and 10 Cataphractii Terminators. We'll find out shortly. And then down this side, you've still got a bunch of guys inside that Land Raider, and yeah.
Some Custodes.
And some Custodes.
Very nasty.
So we're going to go on to the traitors. Turn 3. Here we are at the end of the movement phase in turn 3, and the shape of this battle has definitely changed. With that Spartan gone, and with the outflank being a bit disordered, all of a sudden the pressure that I wanted to push up onto this objective has faltered. I've got to send the Dreadnought into the Custodes and hope it doesn't kill them before it manages to land a couple of blows. Mind you, I send it in, shoot a couple. If you don't kill it, I might be able to kill a couple, and then next turn you kill it in your turn. I've got to do it. Over here, there is a couple of multi-melters that could reach out and touch the front of that Land Raider and potentially glance it to death, but anyway, that's what we're doing here. Round the other side. I'm very aware that there is a Space Wolf advanced reaction. As soon as you move in range, you can move up to initiative and then charge.
Yep.
And I really want my Red Butchers to charge you not charge me. So I stayed still with the tactical squads because of the extra shots with the bolters is a good thing. And then I started moving other stuff first, trying to bait out the advanced reaction. And you weren't biting on the bait. You were waiting and waiting and waiting. So the Red Butchers, after the Cataphractii got out and they're going to go in and do all their things, the Red Butchers, I could have moved them, but you'd probably jump on them. So it didn't move them. So you haven't done your advanced reaction. And the narrative reason for them standing still is they're scared.
I think they're raving madmen, but they're not that mad that they're going to charge a Primarch.
I mean, they're ravening madmen, but they're not stupid ravening madmen. And they can see him coming. That's Russ. Somehow, a little bit of fear ripples through them, and they hold. It's going to be a 9-inch charge if I want to make that charge. And you got counter-attack, and it's going to hurt anyway.
Yeah.
So we'll save that for another turn maybe. We'll start over here with the Spartan, and it wants to put all of its guns into these 2 remaining Custodes. You're shrouding this. Here's all the guns. They're all twin linked, and they all wound on 2s. And that is 5 wounds, 5 invulnerable saves and 5 shrouding saves. You make 1, and there's 1 left on 1 wound. The Cataphractii intend to charge both of these squads, but we'll make this one the primary because we've got a nice flamer on that guy. It is going to hit a lot of dudes, and then there's a lot of combi bolters, and the combi bolters will hit on 3s, and they're twin linked. Then I added 8 automatic hits to that from the flamer because this all wounds on 4s, and you got a chunk of 3-up saves. And the Custodes wipe out 5 of them. Then the despoilers snap-fired their bolt pistols into that squad as well and missed. And now we're coming across to the Sons of Horus, which are going to plunge fire the Holy Bolt Gun. Not holy, it's heresy. Nothing's holy at this stage. The reliable bolt gun is going to fire down into Leman Russ's unit. Roll to hit and wound off camera. You've got all the dice.
Yep.
Right. So how many are you tanking on Leman Russ?
So none so far.
None? Okay.
Terminators.
Yes. 1 takes a wound.
Okay, and then you can have a few more on the Terminators.
A few more on the Terminators, okay. Oh, I kill 1 and 1's injured.
We'll go a bit more on the Terminators.
Okay.
I rolled them like 2 at a time. I shouldn't roll
Sure.
1. That's how it works, right?
They're still fine. Still fine.
So that's it.
1.5 Terminators, and the plasma shots from the pistols missed. That leaves 2 Varangir with Bjorn staring down at the traitors, and that is the firepower on this flank. Down on this flank, this dreadnought is going to shoot at the Custodes. Hit them on 2s. Wound them on 2s. And they have 6 up and vulnerable saves. Wow.
2 Custodes are down.
That leaves 3 with the shield captain. It's still 3 too many. And now the last thing left to fire is the 2 multi-melters from the Just Aaron Terminators, which are going to try and glance open that Land Raider. They hit on 2s. They are Just Aaron, and I need 6s to wound.
Need that again.
I need 6s again. And no wounds caused. And that is the end of my shooting phase. You do have some morale attack. These guys are leadership 10, and they could fall back. No. And they hold.
Leadership 8 over there?
Leadership 8 on the squad that I lit up.
Oh, they fail.
Oh dear. They fall back. 7 inches. And they fall back here, and then we just rolled for the custodian guard, and he fell back again.
Yeah, he rolled an 11 and then ran 9 away.
So, after seeing all of his buddies get light up, he's here.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. It's twice now he's fallen back. Okay, we're going on to the charge phase. Interestingly, that's the unit that I shot at that's falling back, so I have to declare them as my primary and them as my secondary. If I fail the primary, I don't charge as a secondary. Because we shot them, we're going in that direction. I don't know how long this charge is, but it looks like a 7 or an 8. And that's an 11.
Definitely in.
I'm going to make the charge. They're going to need to pass a leadership test or they get swept.
They're fine.
They're fine. Let's move some models. Crump, we make the charge. Over here, I charged it with a dreadnought. Couldn't fail the charge. And now we're on to Red Butchers.
Now you need a big charge again.
Yeah, it's like a 11 or 12 because there's terrain.
Yeah.
But they've suddenly decided that they're not scared anymore and they're going to try and charge. And that's a 10. Yeah, with terrain, that was a failed charge. So instead, they surge forward, bellowing and swearing at the Wolf King. Now we're going to the fight phase. Custodes have initiative high. So let's start here with the shield captain. Starting off with the shield captain using his meridian. I love this. Different stances. Hand that cuts the clouds one more time.
Yep.
And he's hitting on 3s. And he misses 4 times. Now, you need 5s to wound, but there will be murderous strike. And he doesn't wound. And we got
15 attacks.
15 guys. Spears, yeah. These are going to hit on 4s. 5s to wound at AP2. 3? 4? 5. 5. I see 5. I see dead people. It's not enough to kill the dreadnought. It has 5+ and vulnerable saves. It's half dead. It takes 3 wounds. And then it fights back. And it's going to hit them on 4s. And it hits 3 times. It's going to wound on 2s. And they're all brutal 3. So one dude needs to make... Yeah, that's dead. 3 6 up and vulnerable saves. 3 6 up and vulnerable saves. And 3 6... Oh dear.
That's the way to deal with Custodes.
Yes. Well, you still got your shield captain there with his meridian swords. He's stubborn leadership incredibly high. Don't roll less than 10. 10 or more. That's a failed.
All the Custodes are running away today.
Wow. Initiative roll off. That's 1 dice, not 2.
That's my fullback.
That's your fullback. Well, okay. And then your initiative. Because I've got to catch you.
3.
3 plus 5 is 8.
Yeah.
I've got to beat 8. Basically, a 5 or 6, I sweep the squad.
Yeah.
No, a 6, because a 5 will be 8. That'll equal, and you'll fall back.
Can you roll a 6?
A 6, and he's dead. He's not dead. He does fall back 4 inches.
Turns and runs.
Okay, so that happened.
Yeah.
I thought you would kill him in your turn, that it would hurt, and then you'd turn around and kill him in your turn. But it turns out you've got a dreadnought-shaped problem right next to this objective on 3 wounds remaining. And now we come down to this flank where the chaplain charged all of these guys. My chaplain, I've given him an axe, so he's unwieldy. But there are 3 guys with claws and 1 guy with a sword. And all the claws and swords are hitting your guys with all the shields. But they get to pile in and fight at the same time. So Great Slayers have counterattack, so they can all get an extra attack. They've got skirmish, so they all fight. So lots of attacks.
Hitting on 4s.
Hitting on 4s. Strength 5 because you didn't charge me, but Strength 4 because Sons of Horus in first round of combat. Can the Grey Slayers take down a Terminator? 2 up saves. They do. They do take down a Terminator. See how the Grey Stalkers get on. On 4s. They've got counterattack as well. I love the fact that Space Wolves have got counterattack. They're happy charging. They're happy being charged. So long as they get to hack things.
And they've only got chainswords, so 5s?
5s to wound. But chainsaws shred, so you can re-roll a wound. Because that's only 1 wound so far. And that's better. That's 4 wounds in total. Can they take down a Terminator?
No.
No, they can't. At the same time, the Sergeant hits the first unit. These are hitting all the guys with your 6-up invulnerable save shield with the reroll because Chaplain and wounds on 4s. That's 2 at AP3. I killed 2 of them. And then these are all the chainswords hitting that squad on 4s. With the reroll, these are lightning claws, sorry, not chainswords. And these are all wound on 4s. With a reroll for shred, because that's what lightning claws do. 6-up saves. So that was all the attacks into the squad with the axes and the shields, and here's the remaining attacks into the guys that aren't going to get a save. Hitting on 4s. And I hate you. I really hate the loyalists. And these are chain fists or power fists on 2s. They just squish people. Now finally, the Chaplain. With his giant axe of doom, he hits on 3s and he's gonna wound on them 3 invulnerable saves. He takes 3 more down, and you've still got the Grey Slayers, but they're stubborn because the howl lasts until the start of your next turn.
Correct, yeah.
So there's still 3 guys hanging in there with some cataphractic Terminators. Not sure if they want to be there, but leadership 8. Otherwise I would have swept them. Instead, we're just locked up. And finally, you pass a leadership test. Unlike the Custodians. If it was on the Custodians, they'd be running now.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, this battle has swung back in favour of the traitors. The Cataphracti holding down this flank here, mainly because your Custodian ran away, who needs leadership 9 to regroup at the start of your turn. He manages to regroup. And your shield captain over the other side, leadership 10, he does regroup. Thank heavens, he's a shield captain. And you've still got Russ, and you've still got, well, you've still got a lot of pressure down here because there's still a Primarch, and there's still 10 scoring units inside that Rhino over there. But it's been an absolutely brutal game. Half of the Space Wolves force has been taken out, half of the Traitors force has been taken out, and over here, the fulcrum has switched a bit because that Dreadnought didn't die. It didn't die yet. But there's still some of those Terminators. What are they called again? Varangir Terminators inside that Land Raider as we go on to Space Wolves. Turn 3. Okay, so down in this corner, which the traders want to take a bit of twitchy bum time when you move the Land Raider in cover, because it's on 1 hull point left and could have got immobilized. It didn't get immobilized, swung round here. The Rampagers reacted by coming forward because we want to be up this side of the table, and the Varangir have got out because you need to deal with that Dreadnought. And the Deathsworn are making their way downtown as well. Yep. So they're going to be a factor. They've been out of the game for a while, but they will be a factor later in the game. These 2 vehicles are immobilized, in case you've forgotten. I'm just rubbing it in, bit of salt, bit of lemon in the cut. This has got the 10 guys in it. He regrouped.
He did regroup. He's just going to stay there.
He's just going to stay there for now.
Yeah. I mean, he might just hide a little bit.
Yeah, put him right in the corner. He's fine. These guys are still locked up with 9 Cataphracti Terminators now, and Leman Russ has got 1 job, which is to clear away every single tactical marine and those red butchers down here as we go on to the shooting phase. We start off the shooting phase with the immobilized Land Raider, managed to kill 1 of the Justaeran. Now we're on to this Land Raiders, putting 2 guns up at the Rampager squad. Everything else into the Justaeran Terminators. 1 minute, do I want to react to this? I do think I want to shroud those Justaeran.
Okay.
Okay, so rolling the hit.
So into Justaeran non-twin linked and twin linked.
Only, okay, we have 2 hits.
And 2s.
And we have 2 wounds. 2 4+ invulnerable saves. And a shrouding save. Okay, 1 of them gets cut in half, and then 2 shots into Rampagers. They're not above, by the way, they're below. I'm just putting it there so we can see them.
Both hit.
Both hit.
Both wound.
Both wound. And you kill 1 of them as well. Now the Grav Carrier is also going to fire at the Rampagers. 2s to hit with the Rav gun with the Arachnus Blaze Cannon, and it is twin linked. That's cocked. That's leaning on the other dice. And that is 2 hits, 2s to wound. 2 more wounds, 5 up ruin save. Another 2 die. That will be a leadership test on that unit. And this time you're firing the Rapier Carriers with its splintering shells into the Rampagers.
First one.
That's going to scatter off.
Okay.
No line of sight.
And then the next
Scatters full distance. And the next one is scattering 6 inches that way. And both the shells miss. Last thing left far will be the Spartan. And it can see all the Red Butchers. So it's firing all the guns all the time into the Red Butchers.
I did want to shoot the Spartan, but again, I'm immobilised. So.
Yes.
Hitting on 3s. Twin linked.
4 hits. Red Butchers can't shroud, they're fearless.
2s, but you ignore the first
4
one.
wounds. I do ignore the first one, which I forgot to do on the Rampager over there when it took a strength big hit, so I'll put 1 back in, and these are 4 up and vulnerable saves, and the Red Butchers are fine. That is the end of the shooting phase. It is enough to take leadership test on this squad of Rampagers with the Chaplain, and they hold. We're coming on to Varangir. We're opening up the charge phase. They want to charge that Dreadnought. I will Overwatch. But let's see if you manage to make the charge. Because you are in cover.
Just.
Well, you're in cover.
-2.
So -2 is a 1 inch charge. And you know what? You have to place the models more than an inch away.
So they don't make it.
So they fail the charge. Charging through terrain is a thing in Heresy. That's a failed charge. Because you have to get into base to base. OMG. I hit you twice. I wound once with the melter.
4 up. And you kill a guy.
I cut 1 down. Maybe that's why they failed to charge. Death Swarm? Death Swarm want to get in there?
They got to try now.
Okay.
Death Swarm.
Well, they're surging 3. So swingy over here. We should point out that the shield captain jumped back inside that thing because you're going second. If you have him in range, you can use him to deny at the very end of the game. The grav carrier isn't a charge vehicle. But failed charges around this side. Around the other side, if you could roll 3 or less for Leman Russ, that'd be really nice as well. And you failed the charge here.
Let's not do that, shall we?
Okay. No, Leman Russ doesn't fail. The Wolf King charged just the Red Butchers. And he's got a bajillion attacks, 9 attacks on the charge, and he's going to hit them on 2s. Because they're very easy to land a blow against. With Master Crafted. So he hits 8 times. Now, his strength is reduced by 1, but he doesn't care.
Strength 9 down to 8. So 2s.
He still wins on... Oh. And each of these are brutal too.
Yeah, and these are murder... Well, it's all murder strike because you are doubles you out. So yeah.
Yep, it all kills them if I fail. So potentially what we're saying is he can kill 8 butchers, Red Butchers, in 1 swing. We'll see. 4 up. 1's dead. 1's alive! Okay, so 1's dead so far. 2's dead. 3's dead. 4's dead. I'm looking for double 4s here. Still 4 dead. 5 dead. So he kills 6. 6 in 1 swing. Wow.
Hitting on 3s.
Bjorn hits on 3s.
Master Crafted.
Yes. Yep, that was 2s to wound because Cat was weapon skill 3.
+1 strength, plus
Minus
2
1
strength.
strength.
No, +1 because of Russ as well. So only strength 5 though. So 3s.
Yes. With the full reroll.
Right, they're breaching, and that's just 1 at AP3.
Okay, so the 2 breaching, save 1, and the 2 up. 1 takes up wound. What was that?
We need to give you Red Butcher back.
Because of my Rampages roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of rolls.
I put 1 back in. So Russ killed 5, not 6.
Yeah.
That's still like 700 points. Right, then at Initiative 1, the Red Butchers fight, but the 2 remaining Varangir fight. Their weapon skill 6 on the charge.
Yeah.
I count as weapon skill 3, so 2s to hit me. Nice.
You're -1 strength, but I'm +1 strength, so it's still strength 8.
Yep, it's still instant death on 2s. And each of these is 2 damage. Okay, so let's do this again. 1's dead. 1 is still dead. 2 are dead. 3 are dead. 4 are dead. 5 are dead, and then these are on the Praetor. And he dies as well. But at the same time, we fight back. I forgot the Praetor's initiative 5, so he has a go. And he's hitting on 4s against that unit.
Yeah, weapon skill 6, average.
Yes. He's going to wound them on 4s with a pair of Mastercraft, well, just Lightning Claws. And 6s, Rend.
So 2 up save.
You're good.
And then
4 up and runs.
I think we just gone to Varangier now, so 4 ups.
Okay, I kill the injured one.
Kill the injured one, yeah.
Okay, then before all the Red Butchers got wiped out, this is them all fighting back. And they got Hatred. Should have re-rolled some of the hits on the things.
Hit with 5s though, so you need to re-roll those 4s as well.
4s as well. Yeah. And that one, I think something like that.
Yeah.
At strength 5, I need 3s to wound and they're AP 2. 4 up and runs.
So, Varangier.
Yes.
Varangier. He's alive on a wound.
Varangier's alive on 1 wound. And then we have my sergeant equivalent. He's got 3 attacks plus his loadout, and he's hitting on 4s. No,
nice.
5s. With the hatred, because they really hate things. And he misses. And in the end, there's a Varangier left on 1 wound. And your Gregor Ironhand Bjorn fell-handed. And Russ untouched. Wiping through that squad of Red Butchers. Then the Wolf King consolidates, and I have to say that's the fastest that I've seen 10 Red Butchers and a Praetor with Fearless get removed. I mean, the fastest. That was 1 round of combat. And it was only 2 Varangier with a Primarch. That was awesome. Now we come down here with a fight with a Cataphracti and 3 remaining Space Wolves. And the Cataphracti wipe out those 2 remaining Space Wolves, 3 remaining Space Wolves, and turn around, face the Wolf King.
Yeah.
I'm not sure this is wise.
No.
They don't know what happened to those World Eaters over the corner. There's certainly no Vox communication with a bunch of ravening madmen. Yeah, this is definitely not wise. But we'll get back to that. I think that's it for the combat. I think, yeah, that is it for the combat. That is it for turn 3. This has been an absolutely brutal battle. Let's go on to World Eaters and Sons of Horus, turn 4. We're in the Eye of the Storm on Carnaean 4, in turn 4, and this battle is balanced on a knife edge. It goes on for 6 turns, and the Justaerin move forward to try and take down that Land Raider one last time, and the Rampagers came through the ruin, and then something very nasty happened over here because my Dreadnought was going to go into your Death Swarm. Explain to the people what happened down here.
So yeah, you ended the move within 12. The Varangier moved their initiative -1 because they're heavy in terrain, and then they needed a 5-inch charge and they rolled an 11, so they charged her with my advanced reaction.
Yeah, advanced reaction initiated. You're charging the Dreadnought that took down those Custodes. More importantly, I think it makes a 9 or 10-inch charge for the Rampagers to try and get the Varangier, because that's who they wanted to take out.
Yeah.
The Despoilers are staying back here, but they score. Lots of scoring things over here, but now you charge me. I can't shoot the Death Swarm because we're in combat.
Yes.
Then in the fight phase, we'll see what happens. So bad news around there. Bad news on the other side of the table as well. If I charged Russ, he's got counterattack 2. He's got even more attacks when you charge him than when you get charged by him. He's got 10 attacks. And he's going to hit those Cataphracti on 2s, wound them on 2s, brutal 2. It's going to be nasty. So they don't want to charge him. They know they're the Sons of Horus. They're not crazy over here. They know that you want to take this objective, and they know that you need troops. Like, Primarchs don't hold objectives. They're Primarchs. You need to take this with some troops. You need to take this with some line stuff. So instead, I've tiptoed through the terrain in between the empty Rhino and the Primarch, assuming the Primarch is still wiping blood off of his axe over here after killing the Rampagers. And there's probably a couple of Red Butchers, hanging on to his trouser legs about now, even though their legs have been hacked off. And while all that's going on, we want to make a 10-inch charge into that Rhino over there because you've got troops in it. If I kill all of them, this is a big if, and the lone Custode hiding behind that wall there, otherwise it'd have gone that way round, then you will not be able to score this one down here. That's the plan. It's a long shot, but it might just work. In the meantime, the Spartan is backed up, the Despoilers are over here, and the idea is I've backed up to get all of the shots into Russ's unit. So, the way Shrouded works is you cannot take a Shrouded save against stuff that ignores cover, or if you're fearless, you can't take any damage mitigation rolls if you're fearless, by the way. That includes feel no pain, stuff like that. You can't take them. You're fearless, you're just rampaging forward, unless you're a Primarch model. So you can declare a shrouding against this attack. But the guys that are with him, they're rather happy. They're jumping around. They've got a Primarch with them. They're not going to get shrouded. But Leman Russ could get a shrouding save to the las cannons and multi-melters coming in.
Yes.
And that's in the FAQ. And I think they've done that. I think the only reason why they've done that is because Corax has got a 4-up shrouding.
Yeah.
And then how could you ever do a shrouding if you're fearless?
Yeah, because
it's on a model basis.
Model, and because he makes the unit fearless, and it's only Primarch model, so we think it's only Russ. But
so yeah, I mean, again, comment below. I don't think it works on the whole unit. The unit is fearless. The Primarch model can get shrouding. Yeah. So, are you shrouded?
Yes.
You are. Well, I'm going to do it all together because it all hits and wounds the same.
Can you do the melter separately? Because I've got 3 of Invan against.
I'll do the melter separately, which hits and wounds.
So 3 of Invan. Feel no pain. Takes a wound.
He takes a wound, and here's the las cannons, which are that one was cocked and this one's twin linked, and then cocked twin linked on the other one. Okay, 3 hits, 2 wounds.
We'll go Russ.
Takes a wound.
Shrouded.
He takes another wound.
And then we won't risk it, so we'll go Varangir. Kills the Varangir.
Okay, that's the last of the Varangir taken out. Russ is down to 4 wounds remaining. And it's just Bjorn the Fell-Handed and the Russ, who's going to get lit up by lots and lots of bolters. But now I'm going to have to use the toughness of the highest model in that unit, which is 6. And in the end, 4 wounds come through, plasma not wounding again.
Yeah, so we're starting Beyond.
Yes.
I can. So 2 up, 2 up, 2 up, 2 up.
And I don't do any wounds with the Holy Boltgun. Okay. That's all the firepower down in this quarter because the Terminators want to try and charge that Rhino. Right. Coming across this side, I've got 2 multi-melters in multi-melter range pointing right at the front of that Land Raider. And I hit on 2s, and both of them hit because we're just staring. Armorbane doesn't do anything, and the next shot glances it to death, and it's just a wreck. There's pluses and minuses to not blowing up. The blowing up, not blowing up is a big plus because I got loads of guys there that you could have hit.
Yeah.
The minus of it not blowing up is there's a large piece, there's a hill, there's a piece of scenery in the way now. Okay, we're going to charge. Let's put rampages into them.
I think it's a 9.
We think it's a 9 with terrain. That's a 10. Yep, that was successful. We make it there, and then we have one more charge. Cataphracti into Rhino, 10-inch charge. Here we go. This is with terrain and everything. That's definitely a fail. I rolled a 7. And after surging forward, it looks like this. Failed charge. But now, let's fight over here. You've got a speaker, a chooser of the slain.
Speaker of the dead.
And he's initiative 5.
Correct, yeah, it's in
And my chaplain with the rampages is initiative 5. So you can swing first if you've got some dice.
So I charge still. So
yes.
I am weapon skill 6.
Okay.
So hitting you on 3s.
Okay.
With rerolls.
Nice.
And I'm strength more, so 2s.
With the rut. Who
you hitting? So I'm hitting the these guys here.
The rampages.
Yeah.
So you're winning on 2s.
Winning on 2s because I still get my +1 strength.
Okay.
So 4, does 6s rend on them?
Negative. But I do ignore the first one. So you kill 1.5. The World Eater Chaplain, however, hits that big squad. You charge, so you count as weapon skill 6. So he's actually hitting you on 5s. But he's a chaplain. So he's re-rolling. And 4s wound you with a re-roll. And 6s rend.
So 2 up save. Feel no pain. Take a wound on one guy. And then I'll take the next one on the chaplain.
Okay, 5 up and Vun.
And then 5 up, feel no pain. No.
Okay, and one more.
On the Varangir. 4 up. 5 up. Kills Varangir.
Kill a Varangir and hurt your chaplain. And then the Varangir can choose to swing at initiative or initiative low. So there's one Varangir left. and your Speaker of the Dead. So both of the weapons you gave the Varangir are unwieldy.
Yes.
So he's swinging last.
He is.
So we're on to Rampages, piling in and fighting, and the Dreadnought. Let's do the Dreadnought. He's in his happy place, and he hits on 5s, and he hits twice, and he wounds on 2s, and he wounds twice. Brutal 3.
Varangir.
4s. He's dead. Insta-killed.
Chaplain is dead.
And at the end of that combat, in turn 4, the Varangir are finally wiped out. However, these guys are all AP2, loads of axes and things.
Yeah, with rat grenades.
With rat grenades, brilliant. Your shield captain, this grav transport isn't an assault vehicle, so he can't jump out and charge. But all of a sudden, there's a lot of pressure on this side, which kind of matches the lot of pressure, i.e. one model, the Russ, on the other side, as we go to Space Wars Turn 4. So down amidst the objective that the traitors want to take, Death Shroud, move forward, transport spins around, ready to put loads of pressure on the remaining World Eaters. On the other side, on the objective that the Loyalists want to take, the Rhino's got a dozer blade, it didn't become immobilized. The Custodian Sentinel, the last standing, has come to engage the Terminators, as has the Russ. And I reacted to the Russ coming around behind us to move as far away from him as I could, which wasn't enough because I'm in cataphracti armor and I'm very slow. So that's the end of the movement phase. We have some shooting.
Yep.
There is a Spartan still stood there. They can fire lots of guns.
Yeah. One las cannon has to go into this squad.
Okay.
Multi-mounter has to go here. And the other las cannons will try and plink off the Spartan.
Last wound off the Spartan. I love it. Yeah. I'm going to save my reaction for the other side of the battle grid, so have it at you, sir.
Cool. So, multi-mounter here.
Okay, into the Terminators. Miss. Hits. Wounds. 4+ invulnerable save. I'm okay. See, I can take a multi-melter to the face. Bjorn's axe, not so much. Sorry, the Russ's axe. 2 las cannon into Spartan.
3 las cannons.
3 las cannons into Spartan with the twin linkered. So we have 2 hits. 6 is to glance because flare shield on the front. No. Negative. And then 2 las cannons into the Sons of Horus, which are twin linked, and we'll kill them on a 2, which wounds. But we are in a ruin, so 5 up. Wow, the Spartan did nothing. I made all the saves. Las cannons splitting fire all over the place, no damage caused. There is some small arms down here, which will do. So we did the Rhinos, and both of the Rhinos managed to kill 1 each of the Sons of Horus. Now we're coming across to the Rapier crews, which finally have line of sight on something. The Rampage is right in front, so you're firing danger close. So I'm sure this won't go horribly wrong. Rolling the hit. It hits. It's good. It's fine.
Second one though. Hits.
Everything hits. That's a lot. Hits a lot of hits. 14 hits. 6s. Rend and pin. Oh. Nothing. Those rapiers have been terrible all game. Yeah. What you can do is shoot me with a death swarm, so I can do my once per battle reaction, which is a 5-up feel no pain, and charge you instead. You know, charging instead.
I might shoot you with this though.
Yeah.
Shoot you with this. Yeah.
Shoot. I'm not going to bother charging that because I don't think I can kill it. So I will shroud this.
Cool. So bolt cannon.
Bolt cannon, 2s to hit. Everything hits, and 2s to wound.
With shred.
Okay, so that is 4 wounds, but I'm gonna wait for the Arachnus Blaze Cannon, which is twin linked, and wounds on a 2. It wounds twice, so I'll ignore one of them.
Yeah.
No cover from that other one, so that just kills 1. And these are 3-up saves, and you killed 2. 1 minute. Shrouded on the instant death one, yay, and on the other ones, okay, kill 1. So because I reacted, the death one are going to shoot their bolt pistols in.
On 3s.
They're going to hit on 3s. And finally, will they be able to draw some blood? Wounding on 4s, that is 5 wounds, 5 3-up saves. You kill the injured one and 1 more. I should have tanked it on the Artificer guy, but we're good. And interestingly, that's the end of the shooting phase, and you did take 25% casualties. I did suffer 25% casualties in that unit, so leadership 10 we hold, just because there's a chaplain. And now they charge. Are you declaring the Dreadnought as well, so I can overwatch you? No.
Just into the...
I'm going to brace this. Leadership 10. I brace. And you make the charge. And by bracing, that means you lose an attack. But they happily make the charge. Now we come down here. Please roll snake eyes. You don't roll snake eyes. Leman Russ
Close.
makes the charge. With Bjorn, the fell-handed. Shall we start here? We're here. Oh, the Custodes is going in as well. The one who's failed his morale 5 times. He flies in there as well, and he's higher initiative, and he can fight. So we'll start here, shall we?
Do you wish to issue any challenges? Because I don't.
Well, you see, Leman Russ can put his blows wherever he wants.
Yeah.
If I issue a challenge, you'll just accept with Leman Russ. No, you won't, actually.
I'll accept with Bjorn, probably.
You'll accept with Bjorn. I think everyone's dead, so I'm not going to bother.
Okie dokie. So we'll go with Russ first.
9 attacks on the charge, hitting on 2s, because he is the Wolf King, with Mastercrafted.
He's dropped one.
He dropped one. No.
No.
2s to wound.
Well,
He dropped another one.
First one will be on your chaplain.
First one on my chaplain.
Yeah.
So,
precision.
well, he has a 5-up. He's dead. Chaplain's dead. Right. Chaplain's dead, and 1 cataphracti, 2 cataphracti, 3 cataphracti, 4 cataphracti, 5 cataphracti, 5. The chaplain and 5 cataphracti. Now, strangely enough, I've lost my weapon skill. I'm not weapon skill 5 anymore in that unit.
No, so you're really lucky now because the Custodian guy gets 1 less attack.
1 less attack. It's not a nemesis unit anymore. When he swings his sentinel blade.
On 3s.
Yeah. He hits 4 times. It's strength 5.
3s. 4s because you're minus.
Oh, yeah.
1 it, so
He doesn't wound.
This
Wow.
Custodian's not been very good today.
Okay. Then you can pile in with Bjorn, and he's out of range.
Yes.
Then I'll pile in with my dude. Like that, and let's try and kill that pesky Custode. These are all fists and chainswords. I'm hitting you on 5s. Now, hatred, at the start of the battle, the chaplain was yelling his head off. I'm not fearless leadership 10 stubborn anymore, but he was yelling his head off. So we're swinging. So we get the reroll for hatred. Doesn't help me. I will wound that Custode on 2. I wound him twice. Does he hold his shield high? 5 up in buns, and I take him down. And then I lost that combat by a bajillion. So the hatred kicks in until the end of the fight, but the stubborn doesn't.
Yeah.
So I'm leadership snake eyes. I fail the leadership. And then we have initiative roll off. What is the initiative of Russ?
7.
7. Roll a dice.
Getting away.
11. Even if I roll a 6, I'll be on 10. It beats me. You sweep the entire squad. So chaplain with a pair of lightning claws hits you. And he's a chaplain, so he re-rolls. And he needs 4s to wound them. And shred kicks in. And he does 1 wound full armor and 2 rending. So 1 2-up save, which you make, and 2 feel no pains. And he kills 1. Then 4 remaining rampages, hitting you on 4s. Re-rolling to hit those deaths 1. And strength 5. So 3s to wound, but 4s rend.
2-up save.
Yes, you make it.
And then these are just 5-up feel no pains.
Yes.
Make none of them as well.
Okay, so I
kills
killed 3.5.
2.
So we placed them to one side because they fight on death. You've got 7 of the death swarm, and the ones that fight on death all make 1 extra attack.
Correct.
And here's all the dice, and they're hitting on 4s.
With 4.
Re-rolling for hatred. Speaker of the dead. Now, these are all power axes, which are strength 5. So would typically wound on 3s, but you got rag grenades.
And I charge, so I get +1 strength.
Brilliant.
So
Wounding on
strength
2s.
6 and your toughness 3. So this is insta-killing you.
Is it?
Yeah, strength 6.
Oh, yeah.
Your T3.
Yeah, actually, yeah. So you're up to strength 6 with Furious Charge.
Because of Russ, yeah, he gets +1 strength.
And I'm
charge.
toughness 3.
Yeah.
So 2s kill him.
It's nice now.
No. I think you killed them all.
Yeah.
Even if I ignore one of them. So ignore one of them. How many are there? Because then I have to start tanking.
3, 6, 9.
No, I meant models.
12. Oh, models. 5.
5. So 5 are dead.
Well, 4 and then the
I
chaplain.
already took one out. And then these are 5 up and vulnerable saves. You kill the squad. So the Dead Sworn deal with the last of the Rampages. This is now a Rampager free zone. They consolidate backwards, looking at that Dreadnought. While the Justaran Terminators and the last of the Despoilers pressure on, and while Leman Russ has his way in the backfield amongst the traitor lines. As we go on to turn 5. In the traitors movement phase, they continue to push down towards this objective. Here, there is one Custodes still on the table, still on the battle grid that fought on Prospero, and he must die. So the Justeran intend to crack open that transport and charge it. The Dreadnought intends to charge the Death Swarm. And then round here, I move the Spartan first, and then a bit of move blocking with the Sons of Horus. And Leman Russ step back from the fight from the Sons of Horus tactical squad, but mainly to get out of the firing arc from the left sponsoon from the Spartan here. Yep. So all the centre line and right guns are firing into Leman Russ, and the left sponsoon is going to hit the Spartan. So I took a hull point off the Spartan. Here's the shots into Leman Russ's unit. These are the las cannons, which will wound them on 2s, and here's the melter, which I'm doing separate because you're shrouding again, which doesn't wound. So 3.
4 up saves. We'll just take this on Russ.
Okay. And
Doesn't even need the shroud.
He's fine. He's fine. And then we do lots and lots of bolters. Actually, it wasn't that many bolters because you're not in rapid fire range anymore, and that unit ran. So I fired and didn't do any wounds. So that's all the shots over there. Round here, Justeran want to crack open the side of that thing. One of my multi-melters is in armor bane range, one of my multi-melters isn't. So here's the one that is, and here's the one that isn't, because I hit on 2s. So armor bane on the first guy doesn't. I think that's a glance. I think side armor 12, and armor bane, and the one that isn't is a penetrating hit. From here,
no cover.
You can get 6s.
Okay, so
you get 6s on the glance.
Pen. Both go through.
Okay, the penetrating hit is really cocked. Is a 2, which stuns it. And I've got a Magna Combi melter on my Praetor. Yeah, Balaxi Crom will use his one-shot melter. Out of metal range as well, but he hits. And he pens, of course he pens. 6 up save.
Yeah. No.
No. AP1, it's on 2 wounds remaining. And that's a dead tank, which blows up 4 inches. It'll hit your guy inside. And wound him. He has a 2 up save. He's fine. And the explosion hits 4 of the Death Swarm and wounds 4 of the Death Swarm and doesn't kill any of them. And at the end of the shooting phase, it looks like this, placed where the tank once was, which makes the charge from the Justeran impossible. But the Dreadnought's going to fire at the Death Swarm. Melter, Gravis Melter, which is twin linked. I keep forgetting. 3 hits into the Death Swarm.
2s to kill.
3 of them are dead. That's the end of my shooting phase. Are they fearless?
They're stubborn.
Stubborn. Leadership 10. And they hold, because I'm so used to failing your morale test. And it would be really helpful if they ran back off the battle grid. So we're on to the charge phase. I can't charge here with the Justeran anymore. I can charge here with the Dreadnought.
Yep.
And the Dreadnought makes the charge, and that is the only charge that's happening this turn. So your Speaker of the Dead chooses the slain. I keep forgetting his name.
Speaker of the Dead.
That guy. He can fight first.
But he's got Power Fist.
Oh, he can't fight first. So I'll fight first. I need 1 more dice because I'm a World Eater. Hitting that unit. 5, weapon skill 5.
3s because I didn't charge. I'm only weapon skill 4.
Oh, interesting. 3s to hit them. I miss. Good. 3 times. 2s to kill them. I kill 1 of them. Just 1. And because of the rag grenades, my Dreadnought is down to toughness 6. It does have a wounds profile. Here's the Death Swarm hitting back, and they're hitting on 5s.
But they have hatred.
They have hatred.
Because of the Speaker.
That'll help out. That converts a couple more.
And it's going to have a strength 5, so
5s to wound.
2.
2 wounds. 2 5 up and buns. Fail them both. It's on 1 wound left. Can the Speaker of the Dead take off the last wound?
3 attacks hitting on 4s.
Okay. He hits twice. He hits 3 times. What's he got?
Strength 8 because he's a Power Fist.
Okay.
So 2s because you're -1.
2 wounds.
Can he kill the Dread?
2 5 up and vulnerable saves on the last Dreadnought falls. The last Dreadnought falls and blows up 2 inches, hitting everyone remaining in that squad. And there's 4 left. 4 of them get shrouded in shrapnel.
So 3 Death Swarm.
And they're okay. And I can't see it.
It's a 1. Of course it's
It
a 1
is
in
a
this game.
1. The Speaker of the Dead has fallen. But the Death Swarm consolidate nonetheless. There's only 3 of them left. And a Custodian Shield Captain trying to hold down this objective. These Justaeran running around the corner. And the Despoilers as we go into Loyalists, turn 5. So it's turn 5. One more turn after this. The clock is ticking. The battle barges are moving overhead to nuke this site from orbit. It is the only way to be sure. We have an empty Rhino here, a full Rhino there. Bjorn and the Russ, well, they could separate from each other, but they fight side by side. You're going to run through the Sons of Horus and around the other side. The last wall of the Custodes and the Death Swarm form up to face the Justaeran, which of course reacted and moved towards you as we go into the shooting phase. So we start the shooting phase down here with some bolt guns firing out into my infantry, and the Spartan decided to put all of its shots into this squad of Sons of Horus, and I shrouded and only killed 1. And now I'm regretting my decision because I forgot about the rapier batteries that can pin. And surely this is the turn they can hit something. Surely.
And they can see you. So the first one.
Yes. Will hit.
And the second one.
Scatters 3 inches and still hits some.
Yeah.
Much hitting.
Can we roll a 6?
Sixes.
We need 2.
Finally.
2 6s. Yes.
Okay. There's 4 6s, which rend and pin and no cover because it comes from the centre of the blast. So 3. 3 come through.
Yeah.
3 are dead. Pinning, shell shock 1. So this puts me down to leadership 7. And I'm not pinned. But strangely enough, because it's been such a brutal battle, that's the end of the shooting phase. So they have to take a leadership test. And they fail. And they fall back 6 inches. And they're not going to make it to that objective. And they end up like that. And they'll have their names added to the banner of shame, the Vexilla, after this. And we're on to the charge phase. Do you want to charge?
Nope.
You don't want to charge Justaeran?
I will die.
You just want the hugs?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means you don't want to charge Russ either around here, right?
He's definitely going in.
He's going to go in.
Can he make it?
Well, Snake Eyes, he fails. He makes it in. We're going to brace. We pass, which is silly because I wanted to fall back. And then he swings. And there was only 8 left in that squad. So between the Russ and Bjorn, they are completely swept. And then he consolidates straight onto the objective he wants to take. And does he get his wound back for it? Will not die.
No.
He might die. He's down to 4 wounds remaining. That's the end of turn 5. I've got a unit of tactical marines and some despoilers and an empty Spartan trying to hold down this objective. I don't know if that's enough. And on the other side of the battle grid, I've got some Justaeran wanting to take this objective over here. And that shield captain might say something, might be the key. He fought his all the way from Prospero. Will he help the Russ win this fight? I don't know. Let's try and regroup these guys. They pass, they will regroup, but, you know, we hide under there as we go on to Traitors, turn 6. Last turn of the game. Whoever controls these objectives win, and if both of us do, or neither of us do, then it comes down to Warlord and Kildmore and his Belexi Crom, leading the Justaeran, and the shield captain took a few steps back. So I don't think he's dying anytime soon. Controlling this is going to be a bit difficult after killing the Death Swarm with that shield captain there, but I think it can be done. Round here, the only way I stop you taking this objective and stopping Russ run rampant is Spartan cracks open Rhino, and in the explosion they get pinned or at least driven back by the Sons of Horus up here. Then you won't take this objective, because inside that Rhino is the last troop scoring unit that can claim this objective in turn 6. So let's shoot it open. So Sam, obviously you don't want to shroud this.
Obviously not.
Obviously not. Here's the multi-misser, which is twin-linked, and it misses. Great. And then the 5 twin-linked las cannons firing through the ruin, which are twin-linked. And everything hits. 2's glads, 3's pen. It's only a rhino. And it's got sunder. And you've got 5 penetrating hits on the cover. And you cover 2 of them. And then 5 shrouding. And you cover 1 of them as well. It's going to be alive unless it blows up.
Dun, dun, dun.
On a 6. Negative. Instead, it is weapon destroyed and stunned. So it's stuck there. 1 minute. Stuck there. When the unit disembark from the hatch and they run and they're in cover, the furthest they're able to run is 9.
Which would put them...
Does that get them within 3 of that objective?
Some here. Which they don't get within 3 of the objective.
Have I just won the game? Let's fire all the Sons of Horus down at Leman Russ's unit. I fired everything in. I did 2 wounds and you saved them. So that's the end of the shooting phase over here. You're not going to be able to take this objective. A stunned rhino may tip the balance, but I'll tell you what else might tip the balance. It's this shield captain over here. Now, I don't want to shoot the Deathsworn because I might kill him. I want to make a charge and then consolidate using my 5-inch move around all over the place thing with Just Aaron.
Yep.
So we're going to charge the Deathsworn. And we don't get Snake Eyes. We get an 11 because that would have been a fail as well.
Yep.
We go charging in there. And at the end of combat, Balexi Crom and his unit killed them.
Yes.
Lots of initiative 1 attacks here. You killed 2 Just Aaron back again. So now consolidate 5 inches. I've got to try and cover that objective. And that's the best I can do. I've taken this objective. That shield captain is going to have to kill his way through this unit as we go on to Sons of Horus turn 6. What now?
Sons of Russ.
Sons of Russ turns. I keep getting that wrong because, you know, I'm the good guys. So
Maybe.
at the end of the movement phase, the tactical squad is staying inside the Rhino. They can't keep up with the Russ and secure this objective. But the Wolf King has broken off from Bjorn. He's on this side, and Bjorn is going to deal with the despoilers. There's going to be shots with some las cannons and then some charging. Now, if we both don't score each objective, it's going to come down to who kills more. So you're shooting everything at the Spartan, but I'm not shrouding because if your rapiers for some miracle manage to pin my Justarian, they're not scoring that objective because pinned units don't score.
So
las cannons into Spartan with the twin linked. We have 3 hits.
6s though.
With Sunder.
No.
1 more hull point. It has a 6 up. It's fine. It's down to 1 wound remaining. Now we're over to the other corner. The rapiers are coming down here. I'm shrouding this because if I pin, I lose that objective. If you pin, I lose that objective. That's going to scatter 2. That will still hit a couple. We'll work out in a minute. And that's going to hit. And you rend on 6s. And you haven't done it. There's a rend. There's a rend. 4 up invulnerable save. Whew. I'm okay.
Do you still take pinning?
No, only if you take a wound.
Okay.
Then you take pinning. We're okay. Now we're going to do some charges. You're going to charge with your shield captain in, and you moved him around this way because I can't overwatch with the melters.
Correct.
So instead, I'm not even going to brace because if I roll 11 or more, then I'll fall back.
Yep.
So have it at you. Don't roll Snake Eyes. And you don't roll Snake Eyes.
He has to go base.
He has to go to the closest model.
It's about here.
Okay. And then we'll charge with Russ and Bjorn. So back over here to this corner. The Russ charged the tactical squad, easily wiping them all out. It had killed more than there was remaining. But can Bjorn take on these despoilers on his own?
Hitting on 3s. It's mastercrafted.
Okay.
And it's strength 6, so 2s.
Why 2s at strength 6? 3. Oh yeah, 2s. Yeah.
And that was a
that was a 6.
And these are rending, and these are AP3.
Okay, well, no saves there, so ignore 1. He kills 3. Then I'll fight back on 5s, and then 3s. 2 wounds on him.
He's fine.
Fine. Okay, so leadership. 8 stubborn on. No, they're despoilers. Leadership 5. No, I fail. Do you sweep that squad? 4. You don't sweep that squad. Yep. They do fall back, but falling back units or pinned units count as destroyed, so I'm just going to pick them up.
Yep.
And you haven't taken that objective, but you've swept every single one of the traitors away from that objective. Maybe it's a turn too late, because right above it, artillery shells start coming in. And now we come down here to the fight with the shield captain and the Justarians, and this is potentially to win the game. He hits on 3s with his Meridian Swords. And this is the murderous strike attacks.
Wounds on 3s?
Wounds on 2s.
2
strength.
+1, yeah, Custode.
Okay, so the 4-up are murderous strikes, which you have to take first. 4-up saves. And I make them. And then these are 4-up saves, which are not... I make them all. He's in range of the objective. If he stands firm, he stops me scoring this. But unfortunately for you, those are the 3 hammers. I am hitting you on 5s, though. You are a shield captain, and I only hit twice. I'm wounding on 2s. I wound twice, which is 4 brutal saves of 4-up.
Takes 1.
Then the axe hits twice. Wounds twice, 2 more. 4-up and vulnerable saves. And he's down to 1 wound remaining. He hangs in there because no one else can pile in enough to fight.
But they're not very good at leadership checks, though.
Well, they're stubborn. Leadership 10 stubborn. This is not the time to break.
We've seen it.
You're contesting this objective. You're contesting this. This is
10 or less, yeah?
Yes. But that's an 8.
He holds.
You hold. And at the end of turn 6, because of that shield captain there, I don't take that objective. Because your vehicle got stunned over there, you don't take that objective. It's a point for killing the warlord. I haven't killed Russ. You haven't killed Crom.
Yeah.
So we've got to add up everything that died, and there's a lot of stuff that died. And someone gets a point for killing more. So at the end of the battle for Carnae 4, both sides tear the crap out of each other, and both sides fail to get their primary objectives. And what's the score, Sam?
1-0.
To who?
To the Wolves.
How many did you kill?
I killed 15, and you killed 13.
I killed 13 units.
It's been a very heavy battle of attrition, though.
So by 2 units, you killed more.
Yeah.
And Leman Russ manages to get away from here with some rapiers, and he'll recover those 2 immobilized vehicles. To be fair, you're the only person that has a tactical squad kicking around.
Yeah.
And tactical squads win wars. And your Primarch, he's fine as well. I've got a Spartan on 1 hull point remaining. These despoilers that never made it to that side of the battle grid, and they're just there, and who lets... I mean, next turn, I'm going to take that one.
Yeah.
But next turn, you're going to take this one as well, because you would have got out the stun thing, and you'd have been there, and you'd have been there anyway.
Yeah.
So it feels like, it does feel like it came down to attrition. It does feel like it came down to who lost more units. And it was folly of Blaxis, Crom and Orgat to come in and challenge the Wolf King. How was that?
It was a great game. You did cripple the Legion, though, if we're going with the narrative of the escaping Prospero, the Iexis Nebula. So
it was a long road back to Terra.
It was a very long road.
It was a very long road back to Terra. We knew beforehand that you were bringing a Primarch and I didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't know just how glorious, well, maybe you did, just how glorious the Russ is. I didn't expect him to kill 20 full units of Cataphracti in one turn, particularly when one was fearless and the other one was stubborn.
Yeah.
But he did. But because you brought him along, that's why I had more Dreadnoughts than you.
And that's the Terminators and the Rampages that are nasty with their phalanx.
I mean, that's a 615 point unit of Justaeran Terminators there before you add in the Praetor.
Yeah.
And that's why I brought all the Rampages along with all the Phalanx Blades, I needed something. And my something almost broke through here, and your something, well, almost broke through there.
Yeah.
I think that's the bloodiest game that we've played.
Yeah. But to be fair, it's a very balanced game, because if you just discuss with your opponent, it's fine before,
I think you need to do that in big games of Heresy in particular.
Especially with Primarchs, because it can swing it.
Yeah, if someone brings a Primarch, you need to know, really.
Other than Lorgar.
Have you played a game of... No, not him. Have you played a game of Heresy where you haven't immobilized vehicles in turn 1?
No, I'm very good at it.
Yeah.
Professional,
yeah.
Call me.
The Custodes were mean when they got in combat and didn't fall back as well. They were very mean.
Yeah, but they did a lot of falling back this game.
They did.
But Dreadnoughts are a way to counter them, and that's why the Dreadnoughts.
Yeah, Dreadnoughts. I mean, no one likes Dreadnoughts except other Dreadnoughts. Mind you, there's so many points where the game could have... If you'd have passed some leadership tests over there, you'd have definitely won. If the Leviathan had killed the other Dreadnought down here... we didn't know who had won it until we literally counted up models at the very end of the game, and that's another reason why I like Heresy so much, because you don't know. there's so many times at the end of the game you think you've lost, and then you find out you've won. Particularly War of Lies. Anyway, we do hope you enjoyed that battle report, battle map from Urban Mats, all this gorgeous scenery that you see in front of you from marchofwar.co.uk. This is twice now, by the way, that you've turned up with a March of War hoodie on.
I know, he speaks to me and said, can you please wear this?
Have you got one of my hoodies?
I've not, no.
Oh.
Maybe a sponsorship.
I do hoodies and mugs. Are you in the mug club?
I'm not in the mug club.
He's not in the mug club. Mug club represent. There's 37 of them there out in the wild. I do like James. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Say happy wargaming.
Happy wargaming.